Torah Reader's Tikun Teacher is the first and currently only available web-based program for the complete learning of Torah portions and Haftorah. This video is a demo of this solution. Let's start by looking at the login. If this is your first time, you need to register. You provide your name and email and define a password. I've already set up a user account here, so I'm going to log in. The first thing we see on the page is the search options. There's multiple search options that we'll go through. This first one is selecting a book, chapters and verses. So we select from chapter, from verse, to chapter, to verse. There is help here telling us how many chapters and verses in the selection. We get the Tikun, and there it is. So on the left, we have the Torah view, and on the right, we have the view with the complete Nikud and the trope symbols. Cross-highlighting is available on both sides, and hovering over a word will tell us its note. Turning on the trope teacher, we get a recording of the specific trope or the trope pattern. This is totally interactive. I turn off the trope teacher if I turn on the translation. This is always available for any selected text. Let's go back to the search. So let's do the most common search by Parsha and Aliyah. I'll select a book, a Parsha, and a reading option, which we'll touch on later, and then a specific Aliyah. I'll get the Tikun, and here we have Parshat Tzav, Aliyah Rishon. Let's look at some of the menus here that help us. So here we've got the different display. So we can see the purely Torah view or the Nikud view. We can see chapters and verses defined in Hebrew letters versus the numerical version. And here we toggle back to the numerical. We have colorize, the ability to color code the text based upon the different trope patterns. Once again, this coupled together with the trope teacher is really helpful for first-time learners. Colorizing, highlighting trope, highlighting vowels, turning that on and off so that we can see the difference between the letters, the trope, and the vowels. Most of the readings come with recordings, and the complete recordings can be listened to when selecting a parsha. We have the ability to save any search to favorites. Here, I've saved my Bar Mitzvah Haftarah. Just clicking on the search will bring up my Haftarah. This is a quick way to access any parsha, Aliyah, or Haftarah, regardless of whether it's for weekdays, for holidays, or for regular Shabbat. Let's look at the Haftarah search. Once again, it's much the same. We select the book, we select the parsha, and we click on the Haftarah button, and we get the Haftarah, regardless of whether it's a single Haftarah or it's taken from multiple sources. We also have the Haftarot and Maftir for specific special Shabbatot, such as Parshat Parah, Zachor, and so on. Holiday readings is much the same. If we come here, we select Rosh Hashanah. We know that Rosh Hashanah day 1 could be a Shabbat, which gives us different readings. So if we check the Shabbat, we'll get the specific reading for Rosh Hashanah day 1 on Shabbat. Coming back to the search by Parsha and Aliyah, we select the book, we select the Parsha, and then we have the different reading options here. So we have our regular full reading, the triennial readings, and a weekday reading. So whatever we select here, it will bring up the correct reading for either triennial, weekday, or full. Finally, we have the Torah blessings. So here is the blessing before and after the Torah with the recording, and the blessing before and after the Haftarah with its associated recording. Once we've completed, we can log out. This has been a quick look at Torah Reader's Tikun Teacher.